may order tambah. Okay, just a general information for you about the development. This area here, Kuala Lumpur City Centre development, was formerly the Selangor Turf Club. We used to have about 23 weekend races in a year, horse racing, and this was set up by the Britishers when Malaysia was under colonial rule. Now, we had the Turf Club's grandstand here, we had the race track around here, and while it was the Turf Club, it was a flat piece of ground. No vegetation in the center of the ground. Most of the trees were planted around the perimeter of the site. This corner here, where today the Twin Towers are, where the stables were located. Every morning they used to exercise the horses around here. Am I going too fast? Can you follow? Okay. Where they used to exercise the horses here. Now, as the city started bursting its limits to the west of the site, the City Hall and the government of Malaysia realized the potential of this lot of land and proposed that this kind of a racing activity be relocated. Malaysia is an Islamic country, so racing and gambling is not correct. They are having it, but it shouldn't be given prominence. Okay, so they moved the race course. Today the race course, Selangor Turf Club, is in the south of Kuala Lumpur, and then the land was proposed for development. It was then when a very rich financier in Malaysia bought over this lot of land from the Selangor Turf Club and proposed development. Now, when that happened, the City Hall was concerned that for a very long time this area was very fondly referred to as a green lung to Kuala Lumpur, simply because it was all green, and then to the east of the site we have the upper group of living where we have all the high commissions and embassies, and across the middle inner ring road is a very large hectareage of the Royal Selangor Golf Course. When we walk around to the other side, you can see how green this whole area is, and it's been taken care of as a green lung to the city. So what City Hall was concerned was that most other developers, we would turn this into a concrete jungle. So they did not want that to happen, and they stipulated to the developers, that is whom we are, that whatever development we go ahead with, 50 acres must be dedicated for soft landscaping. So, and it was a commitment from us to return this 50 acres to the City Hall, although we bought the land. Okay? So today, that 50 acres, which is the park in the center of the development, has been returned to City Hall, but we came to an understanding and a deal with City Hall that we will continue to manage it. So KLCC continues to manage this park and all the common estates around the whole development. So now our role, KLCC Holdings, that's our parent company, what they play is they make sure that each one of these lots contribute towards the management of this park. Okay, that's the concept behind the whole thing. Now, the master plan was designed by Gladys Carter and Vale from America. This was a competition in 1991, and Gladys Carter and Vale were the winners of that competition. And they proposed that the park be in the center and that the development be around the perimeter of the site. They also subdivided these lots into 22 lots. Okay. It was about that time when Petronas, the leading oil company in Malaysia, proposed to buy over a large shareholding from the previous owner, from the person who bought over the Turf Club, and today Petronas have 51% shareholdings in this development. Okay. The remaining 48% is being held by the person who bought this plot of land and who is a major investor in this development, and the last 1% has been given back as the shareholdings to the previous shareholders, which is Selangor Turf Club. Any questions so far? No. And now, when Petronas decided to move to the KL city centre, Gladys Carter and Vale proposed that their headquarters be in the northwest because of Jalan Ampang and Jalan P. Ramlee. They are two major roads in Kuala Lumpur, and this was an ideal location for the headquarters of Petronas. And so they located the Petronas headquarters on Block D. We have Block A, B, and C, which forms up part of the northwest development. We then went for an international design competition for the northwest development, and there were 7 competitors, and Caesar Valley and Associates from New Haven, America, won the design competition. Caesar came back with a proposal of a twin tower on Lot B, a tower on Lot A, and another tower to come up on Lot C to complement the whole northwest development. He also proposed that all these 4 towers be wrapped around with a large podium, which is today Surya KLCC, the shopping complex. Okay. Now, under the first phase of development, we have finished the the Northwest development except for Lot C. We have finished the Mandarin Oriental Hotel on Lot D, the Esso Tower on Lot H, mosque on this lot, the district cooling centers. We've completed the park. We've finished the infrastructure around the development. For this mega development, we had to upgrade a lot of existing roads and build a lot of new viaducts, flyovers in interchanges, and we had to contribute. We contributed close to 450 million ringgit towards the development of the infrastructure around this place here. Okay. Now, the park today boasts, when the park became the center of attention for the development, that was one of our first exercises that KLCC did. We went out in search of an esteemed landscape architect, and we found the late Roberto Berlimax. Now, Roberto has done projects in Copacabana Beach. I think my friends from Argentina will know. And then he has also done works in US, the UN building. Landscaping is done by Roberto. And this was, incidentally, this was his last project when he was commissioned it. After his painting works, he passed away. And then his team of landscape architects pursued the works and finished up the design of the landscaping here. Now, the landscape here prides itself on 1,900 over trees and palms, which are all indigenous to the region, to the country and the region. And of them, of this 1,900, there are 66 different species in them. Now, of that 1,900, 164 trees were saved from the previous site around the perimeter. We uprooted. The first exercise that we did was to identify all these trees. We uprooted them, planted them in a separate site, and then we replanted them back into the park. And today there are 164 of them which have survived this. We had only a 2% failure. They died of shock. The park has also got 2 acres dedicated for children's playground, and around here we've got something called the cascades, which is like falling waters, where children and even adults are able to walk behind a waterfall, get to experience what a waterfall is like. And then there's a little wading pool. The wading pool was meant for children just to run into the water and run out of it, but we don't know how they've managed to even swim into this little area. And then we've got a reflective pond where we've got water sculptures in it, and then the water flows below a bridge into a large lagoon where we've got a symphonic fountain which has got 302 animations to it, changing in every 20 seconds. Now, when we started the Northwest development, I'll just move towards Ramon.